Welcome to Technology with Mike. This show is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network at techpodcast.com. If it's tech, it's here. Today's podcast is brought to you by audible.com. Get a free audiobook at audiblepodcast.com/techwithmike. Over 70,000 titles to choose from for your iPod or MP3 player. Visit audiblepodcast.com/techwithmike for your free book today. And now for your host, Mike Tartaglia. It's time for Technology with Mike from Central Massachusetts. I'm Mike Tartaglia, and welcome to the show. Thank you very much for listening and downloading the podcast. This is show number 68 for Sunday, June 6, 2010. You can contact me via email at techwithmike@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/techwithmike and visit our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/techwithmike. Yes, I try to keep everything Tech with Mike. You can subscribe to the show via iTunes and the Zune Marketplace. You can see past shows by going to our video provider. It's techwithmike.mevio.com. It's mevio.com. Go there and watch all the past shows on this show too when I get it released. Be very happy I'm very happy to see all the stats going up every week. I'm excited. I get a lot of good listener emails, so thank you very much for that. Today we got a great show, and it's a very unique show. It's something I've never seen before, at least not yet, until this one. But we have a gentleman, Mandeep Dylan. I hope I didn't butcher that name too much. He's from Togetherville. He's a CEO and co-founder. Hi, Mandeep. How you doing?
I'm fine, Mike. How are you?
I'm great. I really appreciate you coming on and talking about this new venture that you're doing. I really absolutely love it. Togetherville.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for giving us the time to talk about it today.
Sure. So before we get started, I wanted to talk about our sponsor, pay a few bills here. Audible.com. Have you used Audible before, Mandeep?
I do. I use Audible quite a bit with my kids in particular. We love it.
Oh, yeah. It's great. For Audible is the leading provider of downloadable digital audiobooks, spoken word entertainment. They have over 70,000 titles. Actually, I think it's over 75,000 titles now to choose from. You can download
They have all the Dr. Seuss stuff, which is what I really like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do.
I didn't even think of that. I got like 3 credits in there, so I'm going to go and download some Dr. Seuss stuff now. My daughter would love that. So it's great. Audible is great because you could be in a long commute in the car, you could be on the train going to work, working out in the gym, and you have a whole library of books right on your iPod or your MP3 player, and you just listen to them, and you'd be amazed. A 30-minute workout in the gym goes by really fast when you're listening to a book. And you really don't even know you're working out, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, so the book that I'm going to be listening to very soon, I just downloaded. It's Social Media 101, the tactics and tips for to develop your business online. It's written and narrated by Chris Brogan. The social media stuff is really amazes me, all the neat stuff they're doing out there. So I figured I'd listen to that and see how I can help my show and my future shows that I'm going to be doing along with social networking. But that book can be yours free if you go to Audible Podcast. Any listener of the Tech with Mike show, audiblepodcast.com/techwithmike. Go get it. It's your free book. And if you decide not to join after your 2-week trial, you can keep that book. So anyways, Mandeep, tell us, what is and why did you create Togetherville?
So Togetherville is a safe social web for kids and their grown-ups. And I created Togetherville because I have 3 young kids myself. I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And their lives are going to be forever online. And several years ago when we were traveling abroad for my previous work, I had taken a computer with me. My son was 4 years old. And I was really surprised that he was using it for anything other than just watching DVDs, which is why we took it. I thought he would use the computer as kind of a big DVD screen. We were actually abroad in India at the time. What happened is he was beginning to use it for Photo Booth, which was a fabulous application. And I started to say, wait a second, he's learning these things on his own. It's very easy for him to use. How can we find a way to channel that for the rest of us, because I sit in front of a computer all day long.
Yeah, me
and
too.
if he's able to use a computer as well, then we can be together even though we're not in the same place. And so we started 3 years ago with this notion of how do we find a way to allow both parent and child to engage with technology, and it's evolved into what you see today with Togetherville.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So people are probably thinking, why do kids need social media networks or social networks? I mean, that's a great great idea.
Great question, actually.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you travel a lot, and you can still be with your family and family and their friends and all that stuff. It's really cool. And I have two kids myself. One's 4. She's not really reading yet, but soon she will be. And my son Ryan, he's 7, and he's turning 7 this Tuesday. And he was really excited when I showed him this site. Right. And he's always on the internet, and it worries me sometimes,
Of course.
being on the internet. So how can parents become more involved with a child's online experience?
Well, so the reason we built Togetherville is that my kids have a network of people who they know in the real world, right? I don't have to introduce them. It's not social networking in the way we think about social networking. I'm not having my kids go find people online. Actually, that's what they're doing online right now. The way we tell kids to use the web today is we say, okay, go online and use this site. Don't tell anybody who you are. Make it completely anonymous. Don't share anything. And in the real world, I tell my kids to be accountable. And then in the online world, I tell them to be anonymous. And it creates a really interesting divergence between what a kid then expects to have happen. So when they go online, they can be whoever they want to be. But when they're in my house, they're behaving like who they're supposed to be. So we said, why don't we change that? Why don't we find a way to let them be their real selves while they're using the computer? And so with Togetherville, your kid becomes themselves. It's their real name. And you're able to do that because the parent creates the account. So Togetherville accounts created by mom and dad, and then they create their kid's real identity online. And that's the identity that they use to connect only with the people they know in the real world. And so the parent creates a network of family, friends, relatives who the child can connect with in a kind of unmitigated way, so they have a chance to engage with the web the way adults engage with the web.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So the parents go in and create the accounts, right?
Yeah.
How does that work? Like, I mean, I know I've done it, but maybe you can explain it better than I could.
No, it's actually very straightforward. What we decided is that for an adult, Togetherville works perfectly for an adult who themselves uses social media. So if you're a Facebook user, you can create an account in Togetherville with one click, right? You go to the Togetherville.com site and you click Connect with Facebook, and you become a Togetherville user just like you would for any other application. And then you agree to the terms of service, which basically say, we're a child-oriented network. We want you to maintain these things here. You give us your email address because we want to make sure that we can connect with you. And then you can create an account for a child. And we take very minimal personal information, and we never take personally identifiable information from the child. We only take it from the parent.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. That's great. So I created my account for my son Ryan. Well, I created my account and his account, I guess.
That's right.
On there for Ryan, and I had him dive into it today. Because I wanted him to experience it before I got on the show with you, and it's really cool. And you're not going to be able to see this on the video, but I'm going to show you a website right now with my son and everything showed. First thing I see when I logged in, it was great. It showed me something he created.
That's right.
So he said using Make a Scene Picnic Edition, he created a nice little picture. He was being creative, put a rainbow in there, some flags. It has his name in it. I thought that was awesome. So now I can see what my son is doing.
What you can see what he's doing, and you can seamlessly integrate him with if your parents or relatives or friends around the country who also know Ryan and are really like caring about Ryan as somebody who's an adult in their life. They'll be able to do that, plus all of Ryan's friends. And so there are 3 primary things you can do in Togetherville. So the kids go online today for entertainment. Yeah. Nothing in the world wrong with entertainment. They play games, they watch videos. But if they're on YouTube watching videos, you don't know what the comments are. Even though the video is great, you actually don't know the rest of the stuff that's there, and you actually don't know what it's going to suggest for them to see later. So in Togetherville, we take those same videos that you can see on YouTube, we curate them, and we put them into our space. So a kid can engage with them, favorite them, share them, comment on them, but everything happens in a safe, connected space. Same is true with games. So on the web, they can go to Miniclip and play these awesome Flash games. My kids do it too. But in Togetherville, they can play very similar games, and they get a social leaderboard. So they get to see not just how they're doing, but how their friends are doing and how other kids in Togetherville are doing. And so they get this ranking that happens on a daily, weekly, all-time basis that shows them on the games that they love, how are their friends doing.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
Entertainment is one big piece.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, in regards to the videos, so you go and curate all the YouTube videos. I mean, that's really interesting. That must be a lot of work.
Well, it is a lot of work, but again, when it comes down to, we care about kids and we care about the experience that they have. And as you know, by watching YouTube, there's a tremendous amount of amazing, great stuff over there.
Oh yeah, but the thing is you can't. I mean, I have to watch. My son goes on YouTube. He knows how to type in YouTube.com. I mean,
yes.
he goes on there, and I have to really watch to make sure. I mean, I'm over here manually curating. If I know if something is going to happen, I'm over here shutting it off. Well,
that's what we know. Every parent does that. And so that's why we created that piece of Togetherville, right? So if you go in Togetherville and Ryan goes into the video section, he'll be able to type in stuff that he's looking for. If he likes Lego videos, or if he likes the Jonas Brothers, or whatever it is that he happens to like, he can start typing those things in. And we have a whitelisted service, which means we pick good quality stuff. We don't filter all of YouTube. We find great stuff that's good and appropriate for kids, and we put it in, and we keep on adding new content every day.
Wow. Now I don't see Facebook doing that.
Well, so because Facebook's not for kids, and that's the difference, right? It's like Facebook is a phenomenal experience because we're adults, and we know the type of people we want to communicate with, and we know the type of content we want to communicate with.
Yeah.
Your son is 7, my son is 8. They don't know that, right? All they know is what they see. And so what we've said is, rather than just have luck and happenstance figure out what they're going to see, why don't we take a little time and effort, and let's build a system that makes that work.
Yeah. So what kind of what other types of activities can kids do on Togetherville?
It's a great question, right? So in addition to the entertainment piece of it, there's expression. Just as you said, your son created that picture, right? We believe a child's personal expression is actually a phenomenal part of who they are. My 5-year-old daughter comes home from school. The first thing she wants to do is show me what she made, right? Yeah. So this notion of how do we create that engagement with a broader set of people, because my parents don't live here. They live in North Carolina, and my in-laws live in Baltimore, and they don't get a chance to see the kids every day, but they get a chance to see what the kids create every time the kids create something, because through Togetherville, it gets shared out to that network. They also like to say really interesting things, right? So there is a social communication aspect of it. In Togetherville, all the comments are drop-down text, right? So we make sure that anything that a kid can say to one another is actually safe and approved, not just because kids say the darndest things, but at the same time, you don't want to make another kid feel bad. You don't want other kids to really, begin to pile on pretty quickly. And so we've done this interesting thing called Write Equip, right? So if you go to the Togetherville main page, you'll see there's a series of 9 categories there that each have about 15 to 25 things in them. Kids can say all those things, and they're fun, and they're always changing.
Well, it's even there for when I log in and see his creations. It says, he goes, what do you think? And then I drop that down. It says, awesome, interesting, I like it. You're a star. It's all positive.
It's all positive. Really... And so we did it for parents and for kids. Yeah. And it's because we didn't want the kids to feel like they got the short end of the stick. Like the parent has open text and the kids have closed text. We actually have closed text for both. And we go out of our way to try to make sure that the content and the context is actually both relevant. And so that's part of what we deliver. But with kids, actually, so we have this service there. If you look on the kids' side, you'll see write your own quip. And so even though a lot of this stuff is dropped down, we give kids an open text box where they can write whatever they want. And we approve it. Right, so it comes to us. We've approved more than 10,000 quips in the last 2 weeks from kids, and it's the most amazing set of things that they write. And so it's great for us because we allow them to have their expression. Plus, we also get to learn what are the types of things kids are writing. So we're constantly updating our other sections based on feedback and input that we're getting from kids. And you'll see in the coming weeks we're going to have a new feature where we're going to be throwing out a daily question to kids, ask them to give us their thoughts on daily issues. Could be anything from the oil spill to their favorite rock music to what's happening in baseball these days, right? And so we're going to then aggregate those things on a public-facing site also, so kids will be able to, and adults will be able to see some of the things that kids are saying in Togetherville. Now
the whole point of this, Togetherville, is really what I've been saying all along with parents and their kids is getting parents involved.
Yes,
that's very important for any type of online activity, because you honestly don't know what's going on the other end. I mean, Facebook, the person on Facebook could say, "Yeah, I'm a 10-year-old boy just like you," and you don't know it, and it's terrible that you have to worry about that. But but this is great. This gets the parents involved.
Well, so the way people use the web right now, and there's a lot of great services for kids online today, we say a lot of them kind of end up like digital babysitters,
Yeah.
right? They're places you can go drop your kid off and walk away and not feel bad. Togetherville actually isn't that place. Togetherville is a place for you to engage with your child, right? So the first friend a kid has is his parent, and we hope that you can build more and more of that connectivity, because a child's experience in the real world and a child's experience online, particularly at the age we focus on, which is 6 to 10 right now, right, really depends a lot on how engaged mom and dad are. And so if the parents aren't able to be engaged, you can put other parents and grown-ups who are trusted in that child's life around that child, because the only person around your child are the people who you put there. So we give you the opportunity, even if you're not that busy or you're not that technologically savvy, to put a set of people around your child who can help them engage and grow.
Wow, you guys really thought this through.
I've been doing this for 3 years, so
Wow.
it's a long time, and a lot. It really is a passion for me, because what I see with I'm not a technologist myself. I never taken a computer science class in my life, right? But at the end of the day, you come down to this notion of what are the experiences that enrich our daily lives? And so I spend a tremendous amount of time in front of my computer doing a variety of different things that in the last few years have really changed the way I'm able to engage with people all over the world. And we said, let's take the way the web is for kids. Let's take the way the web is for adults and make it for kids. And that's what we did with Togetherville.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did. So I'm looking on here now on the screen. Let me put this up for the viewers. It's on the left side. It says "My Neighborhood, give gifts, give allowance." What exactly does give allowance mean?
Yeah, so again, we try to make an interesting analog between the real world and the online world. And so in the real world, my kids are always asking for an allowance, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that allowance is something that they can use for a variety of different things. And so in Togetherville, the kids can fund certain types of activities, buying gifts for friends, buying goods for themselves, or buying applications that we're going to work with third-party developers to have them build for Togetherville,
nice.
and they'll use their allowance for that.
Nice.
And so we don't have any ads on the site for kids right now, and we don't have any. We don't have a subscription. So Togetherville is a free service. You can sign up right now. Just click through with your Facebook account, get the thing set up, and then we hope that your child enjoys it, and they can engage through an allowance in buying things from our third-party developers and our partners that they'll utilize in Togetherville.
Oh, wow. I see so many things you can do with this. So, and what about this one called Give Gifts? Is that the same thing, or?
So gifts, right now, all gifts in Togetherville are free, but we're going to start introducing in the next few weeks some gifts that you can buy.
Okay.
And those, again, we will always have some free gifts in Togetherville, and there will always be some paid gifts. We'll be rolling out the allowance and paid gifts features in the coming weeks.
Okay, so I'm gonna send my son a gift right now.
Perfect.
I'm gonna send him a golden trumpet.
Nice.
He ought to love that. So I go down, I click on the golden trumpet, and I click on give.
Yep.
Wait, I did something wrong here. Golden trumpet.
Have you selected him?
Oh, then
Is he in the first picture?
there you go. See,
There you
I obviously don't know what I'm doing.
It'll take a little while to get used to, but hopefully we didn't make it too hard.
Click on give, and then protect your child's privacy. That's good. Okay. So now he's got his gift. So next time he logs in.
When he logs in, one of the first things he's going to see, he's got an alert that says that dad has sent him a gift.
Yeah.
And he'll also have it in his stream. Anybody he's connected to, when they see his stream, they're going to see the things that he got. You also have the ability to share it on Facebook, because it's a Facebook Connect application, to share with your friends who are not Togetherville users, who are your Facebook friends. Hey, I got this really cool gift for my kid.
That is so awesome. I love it. I'm going to be so much more, easier to let him get online and play this stuff. So what kind of games do you got?
There's some really cool games in there. And so what we've done actually is interesting. So, Flash games are everywhere on the web, and they're phenomenal, and they're a lot of fun. Actually, one of the most fun parts of my job right now is I get to test out a lot of the games that we put into Togetherville.
Oh, tough life.
It's a real distraction, let me tell you, for some of my developers, because there are some games in there that are really cool, and there's a wide variety of games. There's a game called Gem Swap Pro, which is just like Bejeweled, right? It's a great game, and kids can play it. They know exactly how to do pattern matching, and it's time-based, and there's a score, and their score gets in a social scoreboard. All their scores post to their stream. Whenever they get their high score, that posts into their stream. All their friends can say that they got their high score, or they have the high score in their neighborhood. There's Gem Swap. There's Super Crazy Turbo Taxi 4, right? And Super Crazy Turbo Taxi 4 is a standard web game, and we've modified it for kids. We got kid feedback. They're like, oh, this game is too slow. So we changed the gravity in it. You can jump over 2 cars at a time. It goes about 3 times faster than the normal game does. And so we basically have taken all these things, and we're going to allow kids to modify the games for themselves. And so they can go in and change speed, for depending on what the game dynamics are for that particular game. But we're going to give them a couple of adjustments on a lot of the games so they can make the games their own. Because one of the things you'll notice with kids is that notion of like what's mine is really important. We built a lot of that in Togetherville. When your son logs in, when Ryan logs in, he's going to see it's his name at the top of the page on the left-hand side, and it's his picture, and it's his stream, and it's his stuff. And so Togetherville is about Ryan and about the neighborhood of people who you want to put around him, whether it's the games or the videos or whatever else. It's about him.
Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. So what can we expect? So this is still in beta, right?
Oh, yeah. We just went from private beta to public beta a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And so we're very early days. The basic system works. The parents have their side. The kids have their side. But we're building more and more every day that will be more engaging for children, that'll allow you to have more friends. We're making friending easier. We're doing a lot of things now that will increase the amount of attention that we have. And the next big step for us is to engage with developers as we continue to build our platform, who can build the most amazing kid experiences out there. It's kind of tragic, actually, when you think about the kid space on the web. Because of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, people aren't building stuff for kids under 13. And with Togetherville, we want to create a platform for people to build amazing content for kids. Because right now, even if you did build amazing content for kids, people would have a hard time finding it.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Wow. So I'm happy. I'm glad that you joined the internet world with this wonderful website. I really appreciate your time today. That's all the time we have right now. But keep us updated here over at Tech with Mike, because we'll get you on the show again at some point if something new is going on.
And keep us up to date. It's a beta product. Let us know how Ryan likes it, and anybody else who tries it out, please give us your feedback so we can make Togetherville the perfect place for your kids online.
I sure will. Stick around after the show for a couple more minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, well, that was Mandeep Dhillon, and of the CEO and co-founder of Togetherville.com. That's a really cool site. Go to it. Sign your kids up. I love it. I'm just so excited that I can have my son get on the internet and not have to worry about the typical things out there. But that's all that's all the time we have for today. And if I turn the volume up, you'll be able to hear the music. Well, until next time, help you later.